It's a new day for the state, giving back to the underpaid. Time to stop an endless war, break down the White House doors. It's a new day for the poor, give them back what they're fighting for. Time to smash the upper class, take their world back while it lasts. You and me could start a revolution, take back what's ours and smash the institution. It's a new day for the government, don't know where our money went. Paid off corporate CEOs, unemployment takes its toll. Need to fight for the working class, pick up from the Republican past. Rolling bastards on our backs, time for the youth to fight back. You and me could start a revolution, take back what's ours and smash the institution. It's a new day and it's ours, time to stop all the pointless wars. Realize that the government should do the job it's meant to do. Nothing but sit and stare, like it's a game of truth or dare. Won't help me fix what's wrong for right, news of America's time to fight. You and me could start a revolution, take back what's ours and smash the institution.
Man, the name of that one. It's The Butchers. Tony Jones here. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. We are live on Rhode Island Free Radio, online at rifreeradio.org. Now, one of the biggest party nights of the year, what could possibly be the new New Year's Eve. It's a Mardi Gras feel out on the roads as I headed down here to our luxurious, unheated studios. It's going to be a fun night, though. We have some of the best Rhode Island Free Radio personalities available for you. Hey, before the Butcher's Man, we heard from Bending Over Backwards, New Day. Listen to the lyrics of that song, specifically chosen to kick off tonight's live broadcast. In just a little while, Chuckles the Clown and his entourage will be here. Seth from Seth's Rock Report is en route. And in studio with me now is George Garner from the Haunted Cabaret and DJ Psycho Eddie from My Night Out Radio. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
It's going to be a blast. We haven't done this since the other party night, July 3rd. Very well-received live broadcast we did, and I hope to recreate that tonight on this next party night.
If it was not for the playback, I would not believe what you just said. That night was sketchy for me, but I was happy to be part of it and this.
And if it wasn't for the playback, there was a few of us in the room that may not have remembered that night or that very live broadcast.
I am definitely in that majority.
Now, as long as our listeners remember and appreciate, that's what counts.
It's all about the archiving.
That's it.
Which is, a scary thought, especially for me specifically as somebody with maybe possibly some political aspirations in 2016 and 2018. Anybody at any time can recall any stupid thing that I've said on the radio for the past decade.
Well, but forearmed is forewarned, as the saying goes. So at least you also know all the stupid things that you've said in the past decade, so you can be prepared.
Go through and I'll go through and scrub everything down. There'll be a lot of kind of like the Pentagon Papers where they just black lined.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, my admiration for you grows. I think you're the first aspiring politician that seems to realize that everything you say is now recorded.
Yeah,
like all the other candidates, they don't seem to have caught up to that yet.
And it's a different time. I mean, there was some interesting things that Bill Clinton got into back in the day, and they said that guy could never be president because of such and such. And they said the same thing about Ronald Reagan. They said, here's all these, B-roll military propaganda movies of this guy with a monkey. There's no way he could be president.
Right, or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not that he was president, but they said he couldn't be governor of California because for the same reason.
And, I mean, before everything went down, there was people making the case that we needed to change the Constitution in order for Arnold Schwarzenegger to be qualified to run for president. Think about that for a second.
Change it in the sense of what, legalizing steroids?
So tonight, DJ Psycho Eddie will take the first hour, and then our good friend Chuckles the Clown will come in. He's going to take the second hour, and then George Garner and I and everybody else will kind of go round robin throughout the night. We do have some of the best local music around on tap for you, sprinkled in with some non-local music, some of our favorites. You're going to hear from the Ramones tonight, of course. You have to if you're tuning into a broadcast here. You're going to hear from the Misfits tonight, a little Juicehead. Electric Frankenstein is going to be on tap. Not your usual Thanksgiving Eve soundtrack, but we'll, of course, have some of the best local music around. So DJ Psycho Eddie, of course, this is we were talking about it before we got on the air, this is an eating man's holiday.
Oh, this is definitely an eating man's holiday. And I was actually, took a little while today while I wasn't doing anything at work, which was pretty much 8 hours of the day. And I was looking at it, and I was thinking to myself, I know what I do for Thanksgiving now. I remember what I did as a kid, but as times have changed, some of the traditions have changed. The majority of the food stays the same, but there are a lot of things that I used to do that I just can't do anymore. I mean, granted, the whole alcohol thing is a given. Whether or not it's a party night or not, I'm pretty much guaranteed to have a couple of glasses of something. As far as the food, though, when I was growing up, because 100% Italian family, you had to have the antipasto, then you had to have the lasagna, then you had to have something else. And by the time you got to the turkey, I've actually seen people fall out of their chair, passed out in a food coma. This isn't even a joke. My brother-in-law passed out at the table, fell onto the floor in a food coma before the turkey hit the table. And as I'm going back on this, I know that different people, different ethnic groups do different things, and I'm wondering if, like yourself, do you have history of this, of just, well, obviously eating yourself stupid is the given. Judging by what I'm seeing from this distance, you're in very good shape. Round is a shape. Even George over here to my right looks like he's handled 1 or 2 turkeys himself.
Yes.
So, I mean, what have you guys done, aside from the obvious turkey dinner?
You mean in terms of food or in terms of handling the food that we consumed?
Well, I don't want to know in too deep of detail how you've handled or mishandled your food.
Because I was going to suggest, if I had been around, to meet your family back in the days of those food overloads, I would have suggested what the ancient Romans did back in the Roman Empire.
The purge.
Back in those days of Caligula, yeah. The purge, the vomitorium. I mean, there was actually a custom of, there were so many courses of food.
You had to. You had to make room.
Right. You would excuse yourself from the table. You would go into this, I guess, room or wherever it was.
Yep.
And induce vomiting, clean out your system, come back and have 10 more courses.
Actually, SNL did a skit on that. And without going into too great a detail, basically they would walk into a room, be handed a feather, and say, "Oh, I couldn't eat another bite without puking." And of course, I do not want to make light of the people with eating disorders. We'll call that bulimia. People who do that on a daily basis.
Well, they're just ahead of the game.
They are definitely ahead of the curve. I, however, have kicked bulimia's ass since 1973.
He's a survivor, folks.
Oh, no, I'm a victor. I definitely won that battle. So, what about you, Tony? What have you done a little bit out of the ordinary without getting too detailed, food-wise, again, without too many details, for Thanksgiving?
Well, as I was driving here this very night, a tradition which precedes all, or I should say, spans all religious backgrounds, the Chinese food on Thanksgiving Eve. Every Chinese joint from my house to here was packed tonight. Just like it was almost a traffic accident going into one of the Chinese restaurants as everybody was there. It's almost like expanding your stomach. People feast out on the night before on Chinese food, and then they're ready for Thanksgiving proper.
Par for the course with the Chinese food. A couple hours later, you're starving again.
Exactly.
But then you don't eat. You wait till tomorrow morning when that turkey's ready. You just, I don't know, grab the whole thing and just bring it up to your mouth and take a big bite out of the breast. I'm still talking about turkey. Get that thought out of your mind. Now,
I very rarely get to relax, so my goal is to not do anything tomorrow. That's very out of the regular character for me, but I want to sleep in. I want to watch the parade, and then I just want to sit out on the couch until the food is ready, almost emperor-like,
But now
bring me the turkey.
Are you going to be able to accomplish that, or are you going to be in the situation I'm in where people keep, encouraging you and instigating you and basically demanding that you go to their house?
Well, if I were to actually partake in every invite that was given, I'd be crisscrossing the state tomorrow, but I had to put my foot down.
Right, so basically
and limit it.
Well, I'll tell you, so it sounds like you did what I did several Christmases ago, where I just let everyone think that I was going to everyone else's house. For several years in a row, I had a really good system going where, oh, you're coming over to your aunt's house? No, I'm going over to, then, you're going over your, and so basically everybody thought I was someplace else, and I just basically got to sit home and watch the football game. But since then, though, now I have a girlfriend that's wise to all that.
Right.
Yeah, and she won't be outsmarted.
So for the first time ever, I feel like I've really adulted here. For the first time ever, actually, Christina and I will be cooking our own meal at home with just her grandmother coming over, and then after that, we may make some stops afterwards. But
I'll tell you, that is unsettlingly adult.
This is my first ever. Of course, I'm not doing shit. I mean, I'm just.
Well, actually, that's also adult.
I was complaining last night because the prep started on Tuesday night for this meal for a whole 3 people, and the house just smelled delicious. So I was starving all night last night. So not only did I not help in the meal planning or preparation, but I also complained the whole time.